In the last video, I discussed about how to solve a particular quadratic equation using a method called factorization, and in this video I'll be discussing about how to solve quadratic equation by method called completing square. Now let's take an example of quadratic equation that we can solve by completing square method. Let's say we have x square plus 10x plus 16 equal to 0. The very first step is you need to make sure that the value of a in the quadratic equation is 1. We know that the general form of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now when we compare both of the equations, the value of a comes out to be 1 here. This is a here and it's 1 here by default. If there is nothing written, then it means it's 1 here. So it is 1, so we can solve it directly. And I will take another example when it's not 1 here. So in order to solve it, we focus on this middle term. It's 10x. We divide this middle term 10x by 2x, we get 5. Then we take square of 5. Now whatever we get here, we add and subtract from the real equation. The real equation is x square plus 10x plus 16, and we get 5 square. We add it and we subtract it from the real equation, and it doesn't make any difference to the equation because we are just adding a constant term and then we are subtracting a constant term from the original equation. So now we can just shuffle some terms here. The very first two terms remain at their original location, and I can then bring this 5 square along with 10x, and we can write the rest of the terms as it is. Now you would have covered in your previous classes that x square plus 10x plus 5 square is equal to x plus 5 whole square. This is because a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. So similarly, x square plus 10x plus 5 square can be written equivalent to x plus 5 whole square, and we write the rest of the terms as it is, or we can write 16 minus 25 is equal to 0. Now we have x plus 5 whole square. 16 minus 25 is minus 9, and when minus 9 goes to other side, it becomes equal to 9. So we have x plus 5 square is equal to 9 here. X plus 5 whole square is equal to 9 here. So in order to solve for x, we take square root on both sides. We get here x plus 5 is equal to plus minus 3 because the square root of 9 is plus minus 3, and when we take square root on this left hand side, this square gets eliminated. So this can be written equivalent to x plus 5 is equal to 3 and x plus 5 is equal to minus 3. So when we solve it, we get here x is equal to 3 minus 5 is equal to minus 2, and x is equal to minus 3 minus 5 is equal to minus 8. So therefore x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to minus 8 here. So this is the solution of quadratic equation from where we started, and the real equation was x square plus 10x plus 16 is equal to 0, and it is the solution. So this is the basic procedure to solve any particular quadratic equation by completing the square method. Now let's take an example of the form 2x square plus 10x plus 8 is equal to 0. Now we cannot solve it directly, but we need to divide this whole equation by 2 here, because the value of a here is not 2. We have general form, which is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. The value of a here is 2, so we cannot just start solving it directly to complete the square. So in order to make value of a is equal to 1, we divide the whole equation by 2. So if we divide the whole equation by 2, we get square plus 5x plus 4 is equal to 0. Now we have value of a here, which is 1. So now we can follow the same process of completing the square. So in order to complete the square, we focus on this middle term, which is 5x, and we divide this 5x by 2x, we get 5 by 2. And now we take care of this 5 by 2, and now we add and subtract this constant term from the real equation, and it doesn't make any difference to the real equation. Now I just shuffle some terms, and the very first two terms remain at their original position, and I can bring this 5 by 2 square along with 5x, and I write the rest of the terms as it is. It's 4 minus, and 5 square is 25, and 2 square is 4 is equal to 0. Now I can write these first terms like x plus 5 by 2 whole square, because it's the same thing, because a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. Similarly, this can be written equivalent to x plus 5 whole square here. So it's 4 minus 25 by 4. When it goes to other side, it can be written, it's equal to 25 by 4 minus 4, and we can solve this 25 by 4 minus 4, and it comes out to equal to 4. 25 minus 16 is equal to 9 by 4. So we have something like x plus 5 whole square is equal to 9 by 4. It's x plus 5 by 2 whole square is equal to 9 by 4. Now in order to solve for x, we take square root on both sides. Now we get x plus 5 by 2 is equal to plus minus 3 by 2 here. So from this we get x plus 5 by 2 is equal to 3 by 2, and we get x plus 5 by 2 is equal to minus 3 by 2, and from this equation we get x is equal to 3 by 2 minus 5 by 2 is equal to minus 2 by 2 is equal to minus 1, and from here we get x is equal to minus 3 by 2 minus 5 by 2 is equal to minus 8 by 2 is equal to minus 4. So minus 4 and minus 1. This is the solution of the quadratic equation from we started with, which is 2x squared plus 10x plus 8 is equal to 0. And it is the general procedure of solving any quadratic equation through the method which is called completing square. And usually students find this method easier than the method of factorization. And let's go through one more example so that the things can be even more clear to you. Let's suppose we have an equation which is x square minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. Now we have negative sign here. You can ignore this negative sign when we divide this middle term by 2x. Now it's already 1 here, so we can solve this equation directly. And the middle term is 6x. We divide this middle term 6x by 2x, we get 3, and we square this term, and we add and subtract this term from the original equation. So we get x square minus 6x plus 8 plus 3 square minus 3 square is equal to 0. Now I just shuffle some terms, and we get the very first two terms remain at the original position, and I can bring this term along with minus 6x, and I can write the rest of the terms as it is. And x square minus 6x plus 3 square can be written equivalent to x minus 3 whole square, because you would have covered in your previous classes that a minus b whole square is equal to a plus b square minus 2ab. So in the same way, x square minus 6x plus 3 square can be written equivalent to x minus 3 whole square, and the rest of the terms are 8 minus 3 square is 9 is equal to 0, and this implies x minus 3 whole square, and 8 minus 9 is minus 1, and when minus 9 goes to other side it becomes 1. So we have x minus 3 whole square is equal to 1 here. X minus 3 whole square is equal to 1. In order to solve for x, we again take square root on both sides, we get x minus 3 is equal to plus minus 1. So from here we can write x minus 3 is equal to 1 and x minus 3 is equal to minus 1, and from here we get x is equal to 1 plus 3 is equal to 4, and from here we get x is equal to minus 1 plus 3 is equal to 2, and therefore x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 2, and this is the solution of the quadratic equation, which is x squared minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. And I hope my video helped you in understanding this method of completing square in order to solve any particular quadratic equation. And in the next video I'll be discussing about quadratic formula, which is also one of the method to solve a particular quadratic equation. And till then, see you. Goodbye.